guys, it's me, Jeannette, aka Sweet Jean, and I am coming at you with a video that kind of goes along with my long distance relationship video that I just posted. The one that I just posted, which is the second installment of 3 or 4 videos that I'm gonna do, basically was just a picture slideshow with like cinematic music. There was no I didn't talk through the video or explain anything. So basically, after my first trip to London, which was August of 2012, I got home and I was really sad that I had to leave, and he was really sad that I had to leave, and we ended up talking every day, texting every day, video chatting every day. And again, this was back in 2012, so we didn't have like what we have now. Like what we used back then was Skype. So basically our laptops were what we used for video chatting. And so we video chatted every day, and then after work I would get home and he would wake up from his nap and we would talk for hours and hours. And then of course he would have to get off because he's 6 hours ahead, so it's later to him. It's later in his time than it is in my time. So I'm not gonna have him stay up all night and then have to try and go to work without any sleep. So he used to say he was the man of my future because he's 6 hours ahead. Anyhow, we talked every day, texted every day, video chatted every day. On the weekends, basically 24/7, we were on that laptop. So for example, we would have the laptop open and he would have his open, and even in the evening time he would lay down and put the laptop like next to him, and he'd just be there, and I'm like, "Can't you want me to let you go so you could sleep?" And he's like, no, I want to continue talking until I fall asleep." And so I was like, okay. So then he's like, "Don't turn yours off either." So we're such dummies, but we would leave our laptops on and he would fall asleep. And then one time he was falling asleep and his eyes are getting, heavy and heavy. And then I start singing, and I can't sing now because of the radiation that I had to my spine, because they radiated me here, all this area here. They radiated me here, and they also had radiation to my spine in the back as well. So if I'm standing sideways, I got radiation going this way, and then I got radiation going this way. So kind of like they sandwiched me. And so my throat is damaged. I had some damage to my throat, and I feel like my voice changed just a tad bit, but everybody always says, "You sound the same to me, you sound the same to me," but I could tell. And I feel like I have to strain a tiny bit. There's a strain there. And my doctor explained it to me as the muscles and the tendons and everything, that were cut because I had surgery. There's like scar tissue, and that scar tissue is very, very tough. She says it's like beef jerky, it's like tough. It's the meat and the bone, the meat and the nerve bundles and the skin and the fat and everything, it's not as pliable as it was before I had the surgery and before I had the radiation. And so I couldn't sing very well, that great to begin with, but after the radiation and the surgery, I strained sometimes to sing. So anyways, he's falling asleep, on his laptop, and he's 6 hours ahead of me, so of course he's tired. And so I started singing, and his eyes are closed, and I start singing to know is to love, love, love him. Just to see that smile. I'm getting emotional. So he's asleep, and then all of a sudden he wakes up and his eyes are really, really wide, and he goes, "Oh my God, I didn't know you could sing." And I'm like, I can't sing. It's just, the song came to my head, so I just started singing it. And I was just trying to sing you kind of like a lullaby, you know, to put you to sleep. But I'm sorry, I didn't realize that my emotions were gonna come out the way they're coming out. So we talked every day, like I said, video chatted. We got to know each other. We talked about anything and everything. And throughout our whole relationship, we used to watch movies together. He would get his iPad or his laptop and put it on his legs in front of him. And then he would call me on my phone and then turn the phone over so that I could see what he's seeing on the iPad or on the laptop. And we used to watch movies and talk about the movies and give our opinion about the movie. I mean, every other day or every couple of days we would watch something that he wanted and then something that I wanted. I mean, we never ran out of options. And so so we used to watch movies on, all the time, online. Video chatting. And we talked about religion, we talked about politics, we talked about history, we talked about America, we talked about London and the Queen and Princess and the Duchess and anything and everything, what was trending at the time, conspiracy theories. And he really got into some conspiracy theories. So I'm going to take a drink of my Coke Zero. So Christmas came along, because that was my first visit was in August 2012, and then Christmas came along. He sent me the newest or the latest Samsung phone. That was my Christmas. And then on New Year's from 2012 to 2013, he said that he wanted to see me again and that he's been saving some money, and he wants me to go over there for the second trip. And I was like, sure, of course I want to go. I want to see you. I want to spend time with you in person. And so he wanted me over there for Valentine's Day, but I couldn't get the time off because someone had already asked for time off, and I was going to be using all of my vacation, which was 2 weeks. And I know it was a little bit inconvenient for my job, but I'm not gonna go to a different country and just go there for 4 or 5 days. I want to spend time there. So February was out of the question. So I told him, February is not good. I can't get the time off. So he said, okay, well, how about during spring break, like in March? And so I went back to my employer and I asked for a spring break, and she says, no, you can't do it in spring break because we're expecting to be very busy and we don't have coverage and etc. etc. So I got back to Aries. I said, March isn't gonna work for spring break. He's like, my goodness, like, what's her problem? I'm like, I don't know. There was always a rub between me and my manager, but that's a whole different story. Anyhow, so he's like, well, how about the week after spring break? So then I got back and I asked her if I could do that, and she finally was like, okay, that's fine. She's like, and you're going to London again? And I'm like, I thought it was rude the way she said that because it still sticks out in my mind. Like, what difference does it make where I go on my vacation time off? Um, I don't know. I just thought it was rude because she's like, again? I'm like, yeah, again. Like, I don't know. So anyhow, so I got to go to London a second time. And so the video that was posted yesterday are all the pictures that I took, mostly all the pictures that I took during our trip. I wasn't very much into recording videos, which I really, really wish I would have taken some videos, but I didn't. All of everything that I have to remember my trip are my memories and my pictures. I don't have any videos. So that's what the video, that's what the video that I posted yesterday is, of just the pictures. There's no snips of videos that I took while I was in London, if that makes sense. So when we scheduled my flight to go to London, I was arriving a day or two after he was to have carpet put in his apartment, in his flat. He was putting in this beautiful red, very plush red carpet. And so he's like, you know, the carpet's going to be installed, you know, just in time for you to visit. And so it was getting closer and closer, and then ended up being that the doors were rubbing the carpet, and he was having trouble opening and closing the doors, like the bathroom door, the bedroom doors, the French doors from the kitchen to the living area, which was like very small because the flats over there are tiny compared to America, and they're expensive. But anyhow, so the people that were installing the carpet didn't think to mention that, hey, this carpet is really, really plush. Your doors are very, very obviously close to the ground already as it is with the regular carpet. And so Aries had to schedule for the doors to be removed and to be shaved so that they wouldn't rub. And so he was like, you know, there's going to be men here coming in and out. Some of the doors are not going to be on the hinges. It's just going to be an inconvenience for us to be in the apartment during that time. He goes, of course, we'll go to the apartment if we need to, if he needs to pick up things, or if we're going to be wanting to cook something or whatever, you know, like the apartment is there. It's just we don't have it to ourselves. He goes, so I have a great idea. And I'm like, what? He's like, let's stay in a hotel and it'll be like we're both on vacation. And so I was like, can you swing it? I mean, can you do it? And he's like, yeah, I think we could. And the thing about Aries is that he's very good at like finding bargains or like bargaining, even when there's not a sale or a bargain or a deal going on. He just has that charm where they just give him things on discount. I don't know. He knows a lot of people too. So we ended up staying at the Grand Royale Hotel right off of Bayswater train station or tube station, and like a 2-minute walk away from Hyde Park, which was very nice to have Hyde Park right there. So of course we had a picnic at the park. We would walk his dog at the park, you know, feed the ducks at the park and the little pond there. What is it called? The Royal Palace, where the oldest son, what's his name? Charles? The oldest son of Diana and his wife live there in Hyde Park. There's a the Royal Palace. And then Buckingham Palace is, if you're looking at the map, say this is Hyde Park. The hotel we stayed at was like up here, and then the Royal Palace is like in this corner, and then Buckingham Palace is over here, and then it's Chelsea, Earls Court, High Street, Kensington, and I forget what else is over here. So we were above Hyde Park. Bayswater is like street that goes like this. I should have drew it, but anyways, so we went to Buckingham Palace, took pictures. I'm trying to think if I included any of those in the video. I know I included pictures from when we went to the National Gallery, took some pictures around the fountains. We went to take pictures of Big Ben. We went to Chinatown, Soho. I don't know if I put any pictures of Soho or Chinatown in this slideshow. There's a lot of pictures. If I would have added any more pictures, the video would have been 30 minutes long. But there are a lot of pictures for you guys to look at it and enjoy. We got on the London Eye, which is this huge, huge, huge Ferris wheel. And instead of there being like little areas to sit with the bar, it's an actual huge pod that carries like 20 people. And the Ferris wheel is round, obviously, and there's pods all the way around. And there's like 25 pods, and each pod carries like 25 people, and it doesn't stop. Like, it's going really slow. So you're standing on like a pier, and then the doors open and people have to jump out, hop out without tripping or falling, because like I said, it's still moving. And then you not jump, but you get in there, and you don't want to like miss your step and fall, because it's right on the river of, what is it? Is it Thames River? I always get confused between Thames River and the other river that's in Paris, the Seine River. I don't know. I think it's called the Thames River. So it's right off the river, and there's like, it's like a boardwalk kind of, and the Ferris wheel's like continuously going. So when it gets to this side of the boardwalk, the doors open and people that are in there get off, and then it kind of goes around this way, and then the doors open and the people in line here can get in. We took pictures inside the pod with Buckingham Palace, Parliament in the background, Big Ben in the background, the Shard, the big building that's like shaped like a glass shard. It's very pretty. Down below was the sea life aquarium, which we went to on our third visit. So spoiler alert, if you guys didn't already know, I went to London 3 times, and this is my second time going. It was just me by myself again. And the hotel was very, very nice. It offered a warm breakfast buffet every morning. It came, somehow he got it to include the breakfast at no cost, and it was a full English breakfast. And a full English breakfast is eggs, usually over easy or scrambled eggs, sliced grilled tomatoes, sliced and grilled mushrooms, beans. I think they're kind of like pork and beans, American style pork and beans, sausages, which usually are blood sausages, and then they also had sausage patties, and then they had hash browns, and then they had orange juice, they had coffee, and they had tea, and of course they had other things like cereals and pastries, which of course, and fresh fruit, obviously. Well, I mean, not obviously, but they had fresh fruit. So we made sure to take advantage of that breakfast every single morning. We got up, showered, got ready, put on makeup, I put on makeup, went to go have a full English breakfast, filled up, fueled up, and got ready for the day. So we wouldn't have to spend money on breakfast. I mean, why spend money if it's offered in the hotel? There are pictures of the buffet, what we ate, in the video slideshow that I posted yesterday. So basically we got to know each other a little bit more in person. We had a really, really good time. We just bonded even more. He took me around. We went to visit his mom. His mom ate lasagna and a side salad. And I don't know what she put in that salad, but it was so delicious. I don't know what kind of oil lemon dressing that she used, but it was very, very tasty, very refreshing, very crisp and fresh. And I don't know, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the lasagna, but I really, really like that salad too. So I got to spend time with his mom. Me, him, and his sister went to go walk the dogs at Hyde Park. His sister had a dog named Ashley. She passed away from cancer. And he has a dog that's an American Staffordshire bully named Tyson. So we would take the dogs out for walks in Hyde Park and have ice cream, and we had dinner at a couple of nice places. I think I included some pictures of that. But the 2 weeks went by so quickly, and we were both really sad when it was time for me to go. And he was just so dear to me and sincere and kind, and he really looked sad, you know. I could tell his mind was going like, wow, the time passed so fast, and like, you're already going, and he feels like you just got here. And I felt the same way. And of course, you know, we hugged and we kissed and we said goodbye until next time, and got on my plane and came back home. And so the thing that I liked about this trip is that it was really cold, and it was like snowy, and some parts of the day it was like snow fluttering. It doesn't snow here, so I don't know what the like terms are, but like really, really light snow. And then overnight it would snow, and so there was like, but by the time we would get up, most of it was melted away on the sidewalk, but like on the grassy areas it still had snow. And I was just so excited to be in London when it was nice and cold and snowy. But it was uncomfortable because it was in March, and I think it was like the ending of their winter. So really, really enjoyed being there during the cold weather. So we just bundled up and hugged each other and drank, you know, hit the pubs, and they had these warmers and these benches that you sit outside and, you know, drink a pint with the heater on next to you, and just an all-around good time. But anyhow, that's basically my second trip and how that went. And the third trip will be out in a few days. So give me a little bit to put some pictures together. And in this one, I do have some short videos that I took. So I'll be putting those together along with some pictures, and maybe commentary, a little bit of commentary. I'm not sure yet, but the third trip that we had was really, really, really fun as well, really nice. But I'll explain that one in the next video, which will be one, two, three, the fourth video on the subject of this long distance relationship. So anyhow, guys, thank you so much for listening to me and my rambling and me repeating myself and probably skipping things and going out of order of the timeline. But this was back in 2013. So it's been a long while, and with the chemo that I'm on, my memory isn't as it used to be. And plus I'm getting older, so of course my memory isn't as it used to be as I get older. But I'm gonna blame it on the chemo. So thank you so much for listening to my story. I know it may not be as exciting or interesting as my first video, but it is what it is, and I'll come at you in a few days with the third video, my third trip. So I'm gonna go ahead and sign off by saying good night, goodbye, sweet dreams, and I'll see you tomorrow.